Scientists find that the continents of our Earth, on ancient Earth, were created by giant meteorite impacts, celestial bodies slamming into us. To date, Earth is the only planet we know of that has continents. Exactly how they formed and evolved is unclear, but we do know, because the edges of continents thousands of miles apart match up, that at one time, long ago, Earth's landmass was concentrated in one big supercontinent. Now, in a couple of videos before this, I did mention to you that billions of years ago, our Earth was the size of our moon what our moon is today. Our moon is about the quarter of the size of our Earth. But Earth has been growing. It grows every year about the size of a human fingernail's length every year. And I recently saw a picture of a 30-year-old woman who has 45-foot nails. She has never cut her nails. She's in the Guinness World Record for the longest nails. She does file them, though. So you can understand how, and in 30 years, 35 years, how much the Earth has grown. And we know a lot of comets bring ice and water onto the Earth. And one of the videos I posted, I think was last year, in 2004, scientists sent up satellites over the North Pole because they wanted to examine the aurora, okay? The geomagnetic storms and things like that. But what they found is that above the Earth's, what we say, above the atmosphere, okay, they noticed that we get slammed with comets above the Earth's atmosphere, and these comets bring water with them, and they enter into our atmosphere. And I can't remember, it was like 25 million tons a year or something. We do get water from these comets. And it was recently found out. So we do get dust and solar debris, celestial debris, from the asteroids and meteorites that burn up in Earth, but we also get water. Isn't that fantastic? I mean, that's amazing. And that's also another way our Earth grows. But so these continents, our Earth is growing. The edges of the continents matched up millions of years ago, and we know that that was basically Pangea, that at one time long ago Earth's landmass was concentrated in one big supercontinent. Since that's not what the planet looks like today, something must have triggered that supercontinent to break apart, and now we have new evidence to suggest that giant meteorite impacts played a significant role. The smoking gun consists of crystals of the mineral zircon, excavated from a craton in Western Australia, a piece of Earth's crust that has remained stable for over 1 billion years, known as the Pilbara Craton. It's the best preserved chunk of crust on the planet, and the zircon crystals within it contain evidence of ancient meteorite impacts before the continents broke apart. And studying the composition of oxygen isotopes in these zircon crystals revealed a top-down process, starting with the melting of rocks near the surface and progressing deeper, consistent with the geological effect of giant meteorite impacts. This is what geologist Tim Johnson explained. He's from the Curtin University in Australia. He said, "Our research provides first solid evidence that the processes that ultimately formed the continents began with giant meteorite impacts similar to those responsible for the extinction of the dinosaurs, but which occurred billions of years earlier." The work was conducted on 26 rock samples containing fragments of zircon dating between 3.6 and 2.9 billion years ago. We know that we had a large heavy bombardment at one point where the Earth was being bombarded by comets and asteroids. Now, the research team carefully analyzed isotopes of oxygen, specifically the ratios of oxygen 18 to oxygen 16, which have 10 to 8 neutrons respectively, 10 and 8 neutrons respectively, and these ratios are used in paleogeology to determine the formation temperatures of the rock in which the isotopes are found. Based on these ratios, the team was able to distinguish 3 distinct and fundamental stages in the formation and evolution of the Pilbara Craton. The first stage is the formation of a large proportion of zircons consistent with partial melting of the crust. This partial melting, the researchers show, was likely the result of bombardment by meteorites which heated the planetary crust on impact. The oldest cluster of these zircons, according to the team's interpretation, was the result of a single giant impact that led to the formation of the craton. The second stage was a period of reworking and stabilization of the crustal nucleus, followed by a third stage, a period of melting and granite formation. This stabilized nucleus would then, much later, evolve to become today's continents. The stabilized nucleus later evolved to become today's continents, as did the cratons found on other continents around the world. But many meteorites have pelted Earth in eons past, in numbers much higher than the number of continents. It's only the largest impacts that could generate enough heat to create the cratons, which appear to be twice as thick as the surrounding lithosphere. These findings are consistent with previously proposed models for the formation of cratons around the world, but constitute, the researcher said, the strongest evidence yet of the theory. So this is still a theory. Now, however, it's just one craton out of around 35 known. To make the evidence even stronger still, the team will need to compare their results with more samples from other cratons to see if their model is consistent globally. Data related to other areas of ancient continental crust on Earth appears to show patterns similar to those recognized in Western Australia, Johnson said. He said, "We would like to test our findings on these ancient rocks to see if, as we suspect, our model is more widely applicable." This has been published in the journal Nature, and it's on Science Alert by Michelle Starr. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.